Both members and guests joined Reverend Naomi Lloyd, Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., and Reverend Dr. David L. Kelley in the Wakefield section to remember the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on a holiday named in his honor and in a year already being seen as politically polarized, shared Shirley Fearon, who talked of a rally in Virginia.
It's supposed to be for guns, gun protection, but on Martin Luther King Day, it's a funny day to have it.
Our country is divided. We do have a racist president. We have a president that is about to take us on the verge of war. When you compare that to the principles and the values of Dr. King, who was a pacifist, who was a peace activist, who was a civil rights leader, it's a real contrast, right? That is what we should be reflecting about.
As the first African American to serve as Speaker of the New York State Assembly, Carl Hastie held King's devotion to social justice.
This is the greatest country in the world, but it's still a work in progress, particularly when it comes to social justice and economic equity and things like that, and that's what I'm going to stay committed to.
Meanwhile, also there, Congressman Eliot Engel, who chairs the House Foreign Affairs Committee, says King's life helped to shape him.
40 years ago, someone asked me who my political heroes were when I was young and first getting involved. And I said Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, and Robert F. Kennedy. And here it is 40 years later, and if I was asked the same question, I'd give the same answer.
In delivering his sermon, Reverend Kelley drew a comparison between two verses in the book of Deuteronomy on an eagle stirring her nest to where we are as a nation today.
The sermon, it was really inspirational. It kind of fortifies us as, there's a busy season now for both government and politics. So it's a great way to start. I was really happy to be here today.
The pastor's sermon was powerful. And I feel renewed, ready to go out and stir up my own nest.
It challenges us to think about what today is about. It's not about a day off, it's about a day on. It's about a day of service.
Also speaking, Senator Chuck Schumer, who returns to Washington this week for the Senate impeachment trial. He read King Jr.'s letter from a Birmingham jail, which speaks of the urgency to act now against injustice. Diaz Jr. also praised King's activism. He shared that after returning from Puerto Rico, still reeling from aftershocks following a deadly 6.4 magnitude earthquake on January 7th, called it disappointing to see the Democratic presidential candidates in their last debate fail to bring up the island, even as these American citizens are still struggling to recover from Hurricane Maria. Reverend David Kelley, who delivered the sermon, called the day an important opportunity to take action.
Think of it as a challenge and a day of preparation for the events that are lay ahead of us. That they're going to be hard and harsh, and we've got to be determined to reach our goal, and that is to give Mr. Trump a retirement.
As it is each year here at Trinity for the Martin Luther King Day ceremony, visitors and worshipers are asked to take some sort of action, and this year it's to help your neighbor. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.